You may remember a man named Charles Lemons, an inmate lost in the Oklahoma County jail system for 8 months without a court date. We first brought you his story back in March.
Well, since then, Fox 25 has been digging for answers on how something like this could actually happen. It all boils down to paper. Fox 25's investigative reporter Erica Stanish is talking to court officials about how its paper system actually works and how important documents like he had could end up misplaced.
Yeah, well, getting information from the county jail to the courthouse is no simple task. And even though it's 2019, each individual inmate's paperwork is still being hand-delivered to each location.
But when you deal with someone bringing a piece of paper 2 blocks, or us taking a paper somewhere, you risk the chance of losing that piece of paper.
A chance that's taken each and every day when it comes to getting Oklahoma County inmate documents where they need to go.
Basically, our computers do not talk to one another. We need to fix it. We need to fix it so that once you're arrested, once something happens, a paper in hand should not be the way it's done.
But a paper in hand is exactly how documents get to where they need to be to process an inmate, an arrest warrant, or schedule court dates like arraignments. Oklahoma County Court Clerk Rick Warren breaks down the process when someone is arrested on a warrant.
First, he'll check to make sure they're not already in jail. If they're not in jail, he'll make the arrest. Once they have them in custody, then they create another document. They bring a copy of that over to Judge McCray. Judge McCray will sign it, and then it's filed in, put in the basket, and the arraignment's set.
Warren says inmate paperwork is first hand-delivered to the courthouse and put in a basket for a jail official to pick up from the courthouse daily before it's hand-delivered back to the jail.
I have 130 employees. The sheriff has 650 employees. And when that many people are handling paper, then there's a risk of something getting lost.
Warren says only small parts of the paperwork go through an actual computer system.
There's 7 steps that happen before we ever even know anything about it. There's seven steps happen.
Here, he's talking about 7 steps that happen to paperwork at the jail before it hits their offices. During several attempts, we asked the jail what they do to get it ready. Public Information Officer Mark Myers wouldn't sit down with us for an interview, most recently sending us this statement. Due to staffing shortages, we currently do not have the employees to accommodate your request. After sending the statement, we met with him for an on-camera interview 2 days later for a different story.
Computers do not talk to each other right now.
How long has it been like that? I mean,
that's the way the system's been always.
Despite double and triple checking everything, Warren says it's possible to make mistakes.
The mistake happened. A citizen was lost in our jail for 8 months. Pointing the finger at one another is not going to fix it. Working together, making it work right, will fix it.
Charles Lemons sat behind bars for months without a court date before he was released. A new computer system that connects paperwork information with all departments is something Warren says could be the answer to their problem.
We deal with people's lives, and we've got to be very careful.
But a new system is something the jail has said in the past it can't afford as other issues and repairs continue to stand in the way. We looked into some of the jail's financials. Through the jail's Telmate contract, paperwork shows for the past 5 years, the jail received a total of $500,000 in technology grants. We asked what that money was spent on.
Communications within the jail.
Sheriff P.D. Taylor couldn't quite answer when we asked, but pointed us to Jail Finance Director Melissa Hodges. While she didn't want to go on camera, she said some of the grant money was used for new surveillance inside the jail. Hodges went on to say there were no specifics on what the money had to be spent on. So we asked for the jail receipts. It shows just under $93,000 was spent on a new surveillance system in 2015. It also shows much of its spending on installing and replacing camera equipment and recording technology for investigations, a 43-inch smart TV, and fingerprint readers, none of which appear to be items for an upgraded system to keep track of inmate documents.
To keep doing what we're doing and repeat it and expect something different is the definition of insanity.
Now, Warren says there is a task force working to find a way to help the jail and the courthouse get to where they need to be so they have a system that talks to each other. The chairman of the newly formed jail trust also says this is a subject the trust will be looking into in the future. Until then, public defender Robert Ravitz says he and 12 lawyers go to the jail every 2 to 3 months to do a jail count. They just did one last Friday. He says this helps assure them that everyone is accounted for and that who is in the jail is supposed to be there.